Assalamu alaikum. I was asked to do a halaqa about fighting your nafs, and I learned something new while writing it, so I thought I'd share. It's really interesting. I don't know if you guys know this, but the nafs, like yourself, is categorized into 3 levels in Islamic teaching. Lowest level is nafs al-amara, translating to the commanding selves, and it incites a person to evil and tempts them towards sinful desires. In the Quran it says, "Indeed, the soul is ever inclined to evil, except those upon whom my Lord has mercy." That's in Surah Yusuf, ayah 53. So that level of nafs, which is the lowest level, is the person that sins and doesn't feel the need to repent and doesn't feel regret. Second level is nafs al-lawama, which translates to the self-reproaching soul. This nafs represents a state of inner conflict where a person feels guilt and remorse for their wrongdoings, inspiring them to repent. There's a quote that says that heaven is filled with people that have sinned and repented, so I feel like that just goes along with it. The highest level of nafs is nafs al-mutma'inna, which translates to the tranquil soul. This nafs is at peace with itself and fully submissive to Allah's will. In the Quran it says, "O tranquil soul, return to your Lord well pleased and pleasing to Him." Surah Al-Fajr, ayah 27-28. So controlling the nafs is central to our spiritual journey because it is the battlefield where we strive to overcome our base desires, refine our character, and ascend towards nearness of Allah. If you guys want to hear more from this halaqah, let me know. I have like 3 different parts to it. I also wrote down questions, so I'll say the questions that went along with this part. Feel free to answer these questions in the comments, but one question I asked, which level of the nafs do you feel resonates with your current state and why? And another question I asked was, what are some practical ways to move from nafs al-amara to nafs al-mutma'inna?
Okay, we listen and we don't judge. So when I was Christian and people would bring up Islam, I would be like, you know what, honestly, they just kind of copied our religion and then they just took away Jesus. And honestly, they treat their women like really, really bad, and I just feel so bad for them. And then when I became agnostic, I was like, you know, I don't really have an issue with Muslims. I just hate their religion. But I feel like if they just kind of follow like America's version of Islam, then it'll be fine. And then when I became Muslim, I was like, yeah, I'm Muslim, but like I would never like wear hijab or anything like that because we live in America and it's not normal here anyways. And then when I started wearing the hijab, I was like, you know, I would never ever cover my face. And then recently I bought a book on proper hijab. I've actually bought it on TikTok, and then I bought a bunch of like half niqabs just in case.
If you're somebody who struggles with keeping up with their salah, here are some reasons why. Personally, for me, I got a grip of my salah about, 2 years ago. Before that, I was on and off and I couldn't keep up. Like I'd start praying and then I'd fall off for months and then try again and then I'd fall off again. But I finally figured out what's helped me. Number 1, we're all on social media and we're constantly scrolling, and you all know that how the algorithm works is based on how you interact with posts. So for example, if you interact with more Islamic posts, then you will get more Islamic posts. But if you fall off and Shaitan obviously tricks you, you start interacting with other posts, those posts will replace your Islamic posts. That's number 1. When I start to fall off and I skip the Islamic reminders, I actually have to force myself to watch those reminders. And you know what? That's okay if you have to force yourself. Don't let the shaitan trick you. Force yourself to watch them and you will slowly stop having to force yourself and it will come naturally again. If you want a plant to grow, obviously you're gonna water it. So in the same way, you need to water your faith in Allah, and you need to water it for it to keep growing or from dying. And for me, the number 1 thing is to just keep watching reminders, Islamic reminders, and that's what's helped me the most. 2, stop listening to excessive music during your free time. This destroys a lot of things without you even realizing it. If you're somebody like me who hasn't quite fully quit music, that's one of the harder things to do in the age and time that we live in. Number 3, if you're pacing through your salah and doing it super quickly and not actually taking your time to like do your salah, then that's also a sign that you're falling off your salah. Number 4, start doing dhikr. Like whenever you're free, during your free time, start saying astaghfirullah as many times as you can. This also has helped me tremendously from, for example, listening to music, from just wasting my time, and it keeps me in the remembrance of Allah. So when it's time for Salah, I actually get up to do my Salah. These are my 4 very simple rules that I've noticed that if I follow these 4 things, then I can stay on top of my Salah. But if I see that I'm slacking on one of them, I slowly start to slack on all of them. And when I start to slack on all of them, it obviously means that I'm falling through and I start slacking with my Salah, which means I'm praying late, not on time, and when I do, I'm rushing through them. And those are some things that I'm like, no, like I need to bounce back. I need to listen to those Islamic reminders. I need to do that dhikr. So all of these things combined, just 4 simple rules combined, you will see your Salah, like just everything change for the better. So keep up with it and let me know if these actually help